So, do you know what needs to die in a fire? Executing arbitrary code at dependency install time. If you really think about it, this is basically the default in so many ecosystems with so many package managers and so on. I guess the only mainstream one I can think of that I haven't really seen this in, and I'm not saying this is for sure, I could look this up, but I think Golang maybe doesn't do this. It just sort of pulls in source. It will compile it, obviously. But I haven't seen, install scripts and so on. But other, ecosystems that I can think of, they seem to have these install script kind of steps, right? And these are automatically executed. It's not like you have a choice necessarily. Obviously JavaScript, because we know this because of the supply chain problems and so on. Often it is the dev machines that they target and so on. So you'll have these install scripts and so on. Python, obviously. I'm assuming Ruby as well, because it's sort of just copied every bad idea, invented a few of their own bad ideas. Rust, I guess, has this, right? It tracks with their sort of behavior, copying most of the bad parts of NPM and so on. And Haskell, I don't know if it's restricted or not, but I'm assuming it just executes arbitrary code as well. And all of this got me thinking about, first of all, where did it come from, right? Now, I haven't looked this up. Obviously, I could. But I'm assuming this just came from Perl. Perl invented a bunch of stuff. The Perl community invented a bunch of stuff. CPAN was there, like NPM. And I'm assuming this just sort of came from there. The difference is, in Perl back then, it made sense. It was a high trust kind of relationship. They were making things for other Perl programmers. They were themselves Perl programmers. They all identified this with this. They all had this shared, it was a familial kind of thing, is my impression. And so it kind of made sense. All of this was made by, us in this situation, right? But we don't really have that anymore. If you look at your average kind of ecosystem, it is so diverse. It's so multifaceted. A bunch of business is being done. A bunch of hobbyists are there and so on. There are so many different kind of people in these ecosystems nowadays that it doesn't make any sense. Like, we don't have shared values in the same way. And in that kind of ecosystem, it really does not make sense to do the same thing as the ecosystem that Perl once had. But I suspect that that's basically what's happened. So we have this model of dependency management that really doesn't make sense in a world where there are so many people using so many packages for so many purposes and so on. But we just have that model, right? And it just doesn't make any sense. And of course, like, there's a bigger picture here where, you could argue, stop using so many dependencies, first of all. And I would say that that's actually part of the solution. I would argue, stop using, unless you want to constantly be vigilant against supply chain attacks and go through, hundreds of transitive dependencies potentially, I really think, it is worth just considering using an ecosystem that simply doesn't do automatic code execution at install time for dependencies. You could also go even, the extra mile and just say, maybe I don't even use a package manager, in which case this whole point is moot, right? In Odin, since there is no real package management, well, we don't really have this quote unquote problem because, what's there to execute? It's literally just you pull down the code from somewhere. It could be from a zip file for all we care. And that's it, right? So from that perspective, it's I think actually the more you kind of simplify this process, the better, right? Stop using a bunch of dependencies. That's one step. Then you will have less transitive dependencies to actually look through. And stop using ecosystems that execute arbitrary code at install time. Then you won't actually have to necessarily be so vigilant about that kind of thing. Of course, at runtime, you still want the runtime code to be safe and good, obviously. So you do have to actually audit that code. But it would be nice for you to know that, yeah, your dev machine can't just be repurposed for someone else's, nefarious designs. And that might seem ridiculous, but let's be honest. There are many state actors out there that are incredibly interested in supply chain attacks. There are many disgusting people out there that are incredibly interested in whatever you have on your computer and whatever, they want to use that computing power for things and so on. This is not somehow, it's not some fantastical scenario, to be completely honest. And so I think, collectively, I think we need to reevaluate a little bit this type of stuff. And I don't think sandboxing is actually a real solution either, to be completely honest. I think it's sort of that's more of an engineering kind of fantasy, because it's cool, right? Sandboxing is cool, interesting. It's an interesting engineering problem. Instead of actually solving the problem by unengineering, which is what I would call, like, for example, what if JavaScript said, oh, we don't execute arbitrary code at install time anymore. We unengineer that, right? Instead of doing that, they instead want to, make it an engineering exercise, make a sandbox that now is a restricted version of JavaScript or something like that, right? And suddenly it's like, well, I don't think we've solved the problem really. We've perhaps lessened it, made it harder to get through and so on. But no, we need to unengineer this. We need to unmake the mistake of thinking that we should just execute arbitrary code at install time. I think that's really the thing that needs to happen more than anything. And luckily, that is actually a lot simpler than, making cool sandboxes. It might be more fun to make sandboxes and, figure that out. Definitely it's a more interesting engineering problem. It's also perhaps awkward to tell users of a language, no, you'll have to execute scripts. You'll have to ask to have them executed, right? That's awkward. I'm not going to say it's not awkward, right? But you know what's more awkward? When your entire ecosystem is at risk of constantly being attacked by whatever state actors have decided to attack it. Having to run just an immense amount of vulnerability scanners and so on all of the packages that exist. That is a lot more awkward, to be completely honest. If you undress this whole thing and you think logically, it is embarrassing for an ecosystem to have these mechanisms in place. It's just embarrassing. Because they just shouldn't. It shouldn't be that they need to run vulnerability scanners on every repository and so on. And that there are so many transitive dependencies for your average kind of package that people simply cannot go through them all. because that's why a lot of these things exist. And I think just rethinking the entire thing and basically unengineering these mistakes is really what needs to be done. I think people just need to get with the fucking program here and accept that your addiction to dependencies is really kind of the problem in the end. And that is not actually compatible with the package managers and the ecosystems that exist out there. You can fix one of these problems, right? Let them try to fix the other ones, I guess. You can try to find the ecosystems that sort of have better ideas. And those are not always going to be sexy ideas. It seems probably... I'm sure that a lot of people look at Odin and say, what kind of caveman does not have a package manager? And yeah, you know, I guess I can sort of share that sentiment a little bit, but with the understanding that caveman is a lot safer. That caveman is a lot happier with the situation, to be completely honest. Not having this easy route to always using dependencies is such a boon to development, to be honest. I can almost guarantee that you would very quickly retrain your brain and realize, wow, I'm so much happier now that I'm actually not using a bunch of dependencies all the time, and so on. But yeah, anyway, I just thought this was sort of, it just came up that, you know, in the year 2026, people are still doing automatic code execution on install time of dependencies and so on. And it is absolutely bananas to do. It's just Russian roulette every time. And this gets worse because people aren't... Soon enough, people won't even be aware of what modifications are even being made to their package JSON files. So the problem is just going to compound, right? And yeah, I'm just here to say, like, look for alternatives to this. I think, you know, and honestly, if you are making a language right now, consider solving this. Consider not doing this. Don't think of interesting sandboxing things, right? People will circumvent that stuff and so on. Consider solving it some other way. I think that would be a good idea. But yeah, anyway, that's it for now. Have a nice day and ciao.